Can I have some chicken too?
It's heaven. You can have whatever you want, baby.
Baby.
I don't know. That isn't right. You can have whatever you want, baby.
Um,
Did I ever show you this video that I saw in my physics class of a guy who's like, he was explaining gravity by explaining how they found the planet Uranus.
yeah,
So
you
if I
showed
turn
me that. Yeah.
yeah, if I turn my telescope here and here, I will find the new planet. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah, I don't know why they made. No, I know why it made me laugh. Just you hear a teacher
Son of
go,
a bitch.
"Son of a bitch," and
You
just the
know
way he
what's
said it,
funny?
not
In science class
son of a
one
bitch,
time,
son of a bitch.
yeah, in science class one time we were watching Bill and I, and yep,
Bill.
Bill, and he was talking about dams, and he was behind some dam. I don't know which one it was, but he said this dam is holding back. He says some large number of water, like some big number of gallons of water. And my buddy from across the room goes, "Damn!" And what's funny is even the teacher laughed.
That reminds me of uh, my family went on vacation one year, like we do every year. But instead of going to Yosemite, we went to a place close by called Bass Lake.
Mm.
And because it's on a lake, you can get on a boat and ride across the lake, and they'll show you all the awesome scenes. And the tour guide told a joke that was like, "What did the fish say when he slammed into a wall?"
One looks at the other and goes, "Damn!"
And then my dad turned to me and I said, "Hey Dad, what did the fish say when he slammed into a wall?" And he goes, "What?" And I go, "Damn!" And he pretends to slide. And go, "Boy, you better not."
You know, that reminds me of a joke that I think Dad told me this joke. Two guys walk into a bar. You figure the second guy would have seen it.
My mom told me a similar joke that I didn't understand when I first heard it, but I got it like a month later. Two men walk into a bar. The third one ducks. Yeah, I didn't get that for a whole month.
This one,
So I was like,
this one, when my dad first heard it, it cracked him up so hard. He laughed just about as hard as we did a minute ago. Let's see, so a blind guy comes in with a seeing eye dog. He picks up the eye dog by his leash and starts swinging him around. The bartender says, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And the guy says, "Oh, I'm just looking around."
That's funny. Just looking around.
Man. Oh, did you ever hear the one about the guy who walks in the bar and the tip jar sitting there?
No.
Okay, so this guy walks into a bar and he sees a tip jar sitting on the bar and it's full of money. And he goes to the bartender and says, "Hey man, I want that money." He says, "All right, well you got to do something for it." And like, "What do you need me to do?" He says, "There's a horse in the back, right? I want you to go in there and make it laugh." And the guy takes a shot and goes, "All right." He goes in there. 5 minutes later, the horse is cackling his ass off. And the guy comes out and takes the money, and he leaves. The next day, the guy comes back and sees the tip jar full again with money. He says, "What do I got to do this time to get the money?" And the bartender says, "All right, that same horse you made laugh, go back there and make him cry." And the guy goes, "All right," goes in there. 5 minutes later, the horse is crying his heart out. Guy comes out, takes the money, and leaves. The next day, he comes back, sees the tip jar full again. He says, "What do I got to do this time?" And the bartender, he's just about had it with this guy. He says, hang on. First, you need to explain to me what you did the first 2 times." And the guy says, "Okay, well, the first time you told me to make him cry. I told him, the first time you told me to make him laugh. I told him my dick was bigger than his. The second time you told me to make him cry, I proved it to him."
Wow. Well, okay. Well, that just proves that this guy was not hung like a horse. The horse was hung like him.
You know, I never got that phrase until I got older, and I would say it all the time.
Same.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of a Who's Line joke when they were playing Scenes from a Hat, like odd names for horses in a horse race. Ryan gets up there and goes, "And at the final turn, glue is fading, glue is fading, glue is in last place. And at the finish line, it's hung like a horse."
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I need somebody who can swim. That killed me when he said, "When you need somebody who can swim." And see, what you didn't see with those 2 sisters over there going, "Oh, hell no!" It's gonna be my line after I steal your show.
It's gonna be my line. Just wait till the commercial break. Just wait till the commercial break. Yeah, the first time. Okay, this was literally me when I first. I was like, oh, Ryan.
Ryan, dude.
But I was also laughing my ass off.
I thought it was funny that even Wayne could laugh at that.
Yeah, and
he was about on the floor.
I love how I used to say, "Get out!
Get out!
Get out!"
I remember one episode, Aisha and the mysterious fourth dude, whoever it was, the guy who's not consistent.
Yeah.
They were arguing about something. They were arguing about something, and then he said, Drew never got angry like this.
That is true.
Actually, what was funny was if any of those guys started messing with Drew, Drew would just shoot right back at him.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Colin made a joke like, weird, the scene from A Hat was weird 1-800 numbers. And Colin gets up there and goes, so you need more bald jokes, Drew, carry. Here are some more bald jokes for you, Drew, carry. And when he gets done, Drew goes, gee, thanks, Chrome Dome, that was funny. My favorite, this is the only one I haven't seen Drew shoot back at. The thing was Baby Drew's first words. Collins was, Colin's bald. Wayne's was, hey nurse, come on. Ryan's was, pizza. And then the fourth dude's was, come on nurse, show me them boobs. I love
when I remember they were doing like hats or something.
Yeah.
I think. And Wayne has I think it's a George W. Bush mask. He takes off his shoe and his sock and starts counting on his toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, wow, everyone makes Bush jokes. Which reminds me of a joke I heard on Jeff Dunham. So, Ahmed, do you like Bush? Oh, I love Bush. Oh, you mean the guy? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Bush. He's a walking punchline.
Oh, yeah. And his dad ain't too good
Robin
either.
Williams made a joke. This was at the time when they were thinking about opening up the George W. Bush Library.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin said, can you imagine all his greatest quotes on the wall? Like, most of our imports come from other countries. But, and another thing was, he said, George Bush would be a motivational speaker. That's kind of like Lindsay Lohan as a guidance counselor.
Ooh, that's true, though.
That's very true. Oh, man, 3 years, and we're still going strong.
Yep. Who knows? In the next year, we might be we might be living together as roommates.
Who knows? You never really do know.
Nope.
I think this is a good place to end the recording thing here. So,
yeah.
Man, here's to many more years with you, buddy.
Amen to that, brother.